সাইড বাই সাইড। আর আপনারা দেখেছেন আজকে একটা হিস্টোরিক ওকেশন যেখানে ওরা অনেক খেতাব পেয়েছেন, দুজনেই পদ্মশ্রী, দুজনে অনেক খেতাব পেয়েছেন, কিন্তু আজকে কলকাতা শহরের বুকে মেয়র হিমসেলফ রেকগনাইজ দেয়ার কন্ট্রিবিউশনস, এবং আমার মনে হয় ওদের সমস্ত ট্রফির মধ্যে এটা নিশ্চয়ই ওদের বাড়িতে রাখা থাকবে। What about it, Leander? সৌরভ, আজকের রাত্রিটা was it special?
Yes, of course. You know, every recognition is special. I've never looked at it, what is big, what is less. So the recognition from here is with a lot of affection and love. It may not be for the national team or the world team, but many things are blended with love and affection. And when you get recognized by such organizations, it's always special. And I'm sure Leander will also feel the same.
Leander, from the city from where you have grown up, সেই সিটি যখন রেকগনাইজ করে, how does it feel?
Exactly like Sourav said, I think the city of joy has a real heart. In this modern world that we live in, with all the social media, all the Instagram likes and followers and all the things that people are portraying their best version all the time, the heart of Calcutta is the people. And that's one thing that both of us are so grateful for, the love, the affection, the respect that we get in the city of joy. As I look out into the audience here, I'm sure Sourav has the same. You can handpick our stories with each and every one of the audience. It is quite special. I mean, I can see Uncle Deepankar Nandi right here in front of me and his wonderful wife. I grew up playing football with them from the age of 6. And the memories and the stories of people that have created the city of joy the way it is, I think Calcutta is one of the greatest cities in the entire world, and I'm very grateful for the love and affection that we get from it.
Leander just now pointed out something which is very significant, very important. You talked about the social media, Instagram. Now the problem is, you two have done it brick by brick. I mean, there was no magic involved. I have seen from close how you have walked your way up through failures, through disappointments. You did not have enough money. Sourav goes the same. Of course, he came from a very decent, very well-to-do family, but his battle in and around the Indian team was unbelievable. The pains he had to go through. In today's world, social media, you know, you hit a shot, you just post a reel, cover drive 4 and 1,000 likes. You know, you never put a picture of yourself getting bowled first ball or losing a volley. Is there a danger for the young kids if they take social media too seriously?
I think there's a lot of pressure on the young kids. There's a lot of stress, whether it's peer pressure, whether it is pressure to perform, pressure to always portray your best. And as you so rightly said, Gautam, that you can't be your best every day. I have lost 74.3% of every tennis match I've played in 40 years. If I go to a bank, I ain't getting no loan with that kind of performance. But yet you sit here with, you know, all the records in the book. I feel that using sport as a vehicle to empower the youth, and especially using sport to empower our young girls, our young women, is a great vehicle to do so. Why? Because under Sourav's leadership at the BCCI, cricket gave equal prize money to the women's as well as the men's. I'm so proud of him for that. I play a sport like tennis, which is the first sport to have equal prize money, equal opportunity, and equal scholarships for young girls as for boys. I think it is one of the most important things in society to empower our young girls through sport. It teaches leadership, it teaches teamwork, it teaches camaraderie, it teaches self-worth. And as we know today, we young men are fighting for liberation. The Indian women are going ahead of us. We got to keep up. And I think the talent that we have, the cerebral talent that we have in our country is amazing.
থ্যাংক ইউ লিয়ান্ডার। সৌরভ, কেউ যদি কোনো বন্ধু যদি পোস্ট করে দেয় হুক করতে গিয়ে ফার্স্ট বলে আউট হয়ে গেছে, সেই ছেলে তো গার্লফ্রেন্ডই আসবে না।
Firstly, Gautam, the girlfriend voice চলে গেছে।
তোমার কথা বলছি না, ইয়াংস্টারদের কথা বলছি।
ও ইয়াংস্টার,
Everyone wants instant success.
আমার মনে হয় না because girls and boys are very clever these days, so they know what keeps them going and what keeps them attracted, so I'm sure they find a way.
তোমার সময় যদি সোশ্যাল মিডিয়া থাকতো, এই কনস্ট্যান্ট প্রেশার to prove yourself to an outer world that I'm good enough, not just to your competition but to an outside world, alien outside world, তোমার টাস্কটা কি আরো ডিফিকাল্ট হতো?
দেখো, এটা তখনও ছিল, whether the scale was as big as this I'm not sure. For any professional, when you're in a world stage or when you're in a national stage, and when you have so much visibility, so much people's opinion, you'll always get judged. So that's part and parcel of professional sport. Amar shomoy chilo hoyto there was no Twitter, there was no Instagram, there was no Facebook, but there was media, there was scrutiny by media, there was scrutiny by common people, there was scrutiny everywhere you went, and you had to deal with that. And I've always said, I say that to everyone, and not because I've handled pressure for over a long period of time, or Leander has done it for a long period of time. I have played in a team sport, so my future, my career was always decided by someone, which was not the case with Leander, because Leander was so good and Leander played an individual sport. He always had an opportunity to go and show that he was good. I'll tell you a small story, Gautam. I was in Wimbledon in 2011, and I was watching Roger Federer versus Nadal, and Leander also must have watched it, he being such a champion. Federer lost to Nadal, and I, someone who knows tennis a little bit, not the entire intricacies of tennis, the first thought which came to me was, it's done with Federer. His career is done, such a champion. It happens to every professional, and you finish. If he was playing a team sport, and if there were selectors selecting him, he would not have played again. But Federer got back 3 years later in the same Wimbledon final. He beat Nadal on the court, and you could see that old Roger Federer. So there have been many instances in professional sport, in team sport, where you're still good, but other people feel that you're not good enough, and you have to make way, which is so much in cricket. So this is something you have to deal with. For every young boy and girl in this room who's seen Leander play, and who's seen athletes play, who's seen the great Sachin play, or a Kohli play, or a Gavaskar play, you have to deal with pressure in life. There is no way of getting out of it. If you want to be successful, you learn how to deal with it. Otherwise, you'll never be successful. The higher you go, the more the pressure it is, and the stronger it is. So find your own way of putting it aside and concentrating on performance. Look at Virat Kohli, India-Pakistan game, Champions Trophy. He comes to bat at 40-2 and scores 100 to win the game. There cannot be more pressure. There cannot be more pressure than that, because if he fails, people will say he's done. He's done. We need to look at young players, and India has so much talent. Somebody will take over. So you have to find a way to deal with pressure, and the only way to deal with pressure is seeing everything as an opportunity. Whatever happens in social media, if somebody picks it up and says you're rubbish, so what? It's what you feel from within. Get out in the morning, train, and become better. Doesn't matter what an X, Y, Z thinks about it. What matters is what you think about it. How many times has he been down and out? How many times has he come back from behind? But has he lost the battle? He did not. You see tennis champions lose the first set, lose the second set, and a Federer or a Nadal or some of the greats or a Sampras, which I've seen in my life, come back and win 3-2. We sitting on television and think it's done for Sampras, it's done for Federer, but he doesn't think. He comes back and wins 3-2. So for every young professional, it's about finding a way to deal with it, and it's possible. And it's possible if you want to be successful, deal with